Uh-oh. Well, I guess we're not having an intro. The intro did not want to work for us, so welcome. Welcome to a Patreon-only live show. These are a little bit different because it is your questions and our answers. Nothing really structured, no real news. We're just going to go over the charts of the big, large caps. I might talk, a bigger picture of the current crypto market conditions, and then really it's your guys' questions. If you want to see some technical analysis, fundamental analysis, crypto news, throw it in the chat box. We'll get to as much as we can. Then also, we are doing Patreon-only giveaways. Why these special? Obviously, because only you guys get a chance of winning. And tonight we are doing 4 giveaways, starting from smallest to largest. The smallest prize will be 1 Ethereum Classic worth about $7, 50,000 RPD worth about $10, 1 Zen worth about $12, and then the big winner for this month is going to be a Wyckoff and cryptocurrency trading course valued at $299. Or Patreons do get 20% off using promo code Patreon20off. So if you don't win this one and you're interested in the course, check it out. And that would still be a $260 value for 1 lucky winner. So a little later in the show, we'll draw 4 winners, and the order will be from the smallest to the largest prize. Also for next month, I finally got my Ledger Nano X's in the mail. Hopefully you guys got some too. Since there was a delay, they did send me a free Ledger Nano S, which is $100, and I really don't have a need for it. So that is going to be one of the prizes going towards the next month of Patreon.
Show me the money.
Hopefully you guys
Keep
are
up
making
the great
some good
calls,
trades,
P.
following on in Discord, getting a lot of good information. Hopefully you get to ask some private questions here. Maybe you can win something. And if you stay with us next month, the Ledger Nano S will be one of the many giveaways for next month as well. What do you got to add, Todd?
Not too much. I'm wrenching everybody that comes through here, obviously. So when you're on our normal broadcast, you'll have a wrench, which don't mean much, but a little more important. And that's really it. Just going to answer questions, try to make sure everyone somewhat understands my thoughts. A lot of new people that probably have questions about Wyckoff or et cetera. So just want to make sure we get that done tonight.
Awesome. Yeah, so get your guys' questions going. I'm going to take a quick look at the coin market cap. We'll let Todd go over the charts of the large caps, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, like he always does, and then we'll dive right into their questions. After a few questions, we'll go to the random number generator, give away some prizes, and then we'll just kind of hang out, wrap it up, and see what you guys are up to.
Yep.
And, of course, we'll be back in Discord later tonight. I want to watch some of the NBA playoff game, but we'll get in there. So let's refresh this. Let's see what we got going on here.
I'm going to Fast Eddies.
Bitcoin dominance back above 57%. Pretty crazy, getting back up there once again. Bitcoin, $7,914, up 3%, while really all the other large caps are lagging besides Bitcoin Cash, which is up 3%, up to $405. I think Todd has a chart to show you, an updated chart via the one that was in Discord, as once again, the price is following the Elliott wave path perfectly. You could have made some swing trades on it. Personally, I didn't talk about it because I don't own any Bitcoin Cash, but some of you out there do.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I got to apologize. Darren Pinard, I guess I hit him. I was trying to wrench him, I think. I think I brought him back.
There you go. You got him.
Sorry.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Biggest winners for today, Sentiment Network. Never heard of it. Pretty low volume, but not a massive gainer to I'm like, you have to sell that, but I don't know what's going on there. Waves trying to resurrect itself, up 24%. I don't know what the news is on that. And then Justin Sun is pumping BTT token finally after that thing just died. Up 21% today, though. So keep an eye on BitTorrent, as I know Justin Sun's been talking about it a lot. CZ's been talking about it. And I might see further rallies from these levels. Matic Network is one that we've traded in and out of. Currently, it is up 20% today, really bouncing off that support we were talking about in Discord and moving higher. I really want to see that stay above the 350 sat level. If that does give way, I think you're going to have another chance to enter around 260 sats or lower. So keep an eye on that, or maybe run a stop somewhere around those levels if you are riding on some of this green. Hollow is up 15.71%. This is one I'm kicking myself on. I was looking at some of these alts. I put QSP in there. That rallied. And we talked about a few other ones. But Hollow Hot was on that list that I was looking at 15, 16 sats. I never got around to making the trade and getting it into Discord. But that has rallied to something like 22 or 23 sats. So that would have been another big double-digit gainer 30 to 40%. But unfortunately, I didn't pull the trigger on that one, guys. I thought maybe it was just going to continue a little lower. There was not much talk going on around it. But we'll keep an eye on that one and see if it comes back to more realistic levels once again. And then, of course, Pundy X. If you've been at Patreon just this month, it was maybe a week ago, in the fundamental section, I said I'll be a buyer of Pundy X between 7 to 9 sats. That is when Pundy was 7 and 8 sats, so I gave you guys a little bit of a range there, and it did rally as high as I think like 13, 14 sats, and I think right now it is sitting at 11 Satoshis, up 9.25% today. Now, do realize that is about a 40% gainer, but you do earn some passive income on it. I'm not really looking to trade it unless it got back to like 19 to 22 sats. Obviously, that would be a big 300% gainer for us. But if it doesn't get up to those levels, I think it's a good opportunity to just keep hodling, get that passive income, and wait for that 20 sat range to let some of that go and really recoup a ton of profits on that 7 to 9 sat Pundy buy that I put in Discord probably a week or two ago. All right, Todd, you're up. Recoup a ton of profits on that 7 to 9 sat Pundy buy that I put in Discord probably a week or two ago.
I've got
All right, Todd, you're up.
You got your volume.
To recoup a ton of profits on that 7 to 9 sat Pundy buy that I put in Discord.
There I am. All right. I guess I really want to just hope we open it up for questions. But again, I want new people to understand that, like, we've been showing this chart with buys marked on it. These buys are from the Wyckoff software. It's not me just guessing. It's not really Elliott Wave buy unless I marked it Elliott Wave EWT. So the new people in here, for the last week or 10 days, whatever, wanting buys, wanting whatever, it's a little tougher here because when I get what I consider a real buy, you'll be made aware of it. Until then, we're setting up here with, if we bring up the 15-minute chart, I still was guessing. As everybody knows, we had done the wave 3. So, and I'm still guessing on, how this is going to play out up here. So let's go to this chart. So I feel like I'm guessing more because I'm trying to pick an Elliott Wave pattern. I'm trying to pick really small divergences on our software, which is a little tougher. So I just want everybody to understand that I think I'll, get a buy signal at what will be a decent area. And I don't know whether that's going to be higher, lower, or what. So just trying to give us some roadmaps for short-term trading. But, to be a short-term trader, I think you got to be really good at it. And even for me on PCG accounts that I manage, I'm still mostly long. I might have sold a little bit of Bitcoin, something, trying to get it back cheaper. I did that, maybe back here at 82.50 for some people. I got some clients that want to be short. So yeah, I'm trading on the short side as well. But, I think we're still guessing here. So a lot of people are like, where did we break out? I don't think we're breaking out. I think we're in a correction. So I don't think you want to chase these little pumps. We had the one back here to 80.50 on the chart. We just had a decent pump here. We had this pump over here that I thought would fail, that it did. So I don't know how I'm going to read this. I just think we're going sideways to a hair lower. And that like Ethereum, Litecoin, and some of these, those charts, that one's not getting away from us because it looks, to me, still a little bit heavy. So, and I had shown, this could still be a triangle A, B, C. So this could be the A up of a D. So we come down here, go back up, test this, come back down over here. So maybe a 245, 2.5 days from now, maybe I have something. It might be hard for me to get a buy signal in a triangle. I'll probably get it if it's a zigzag. If this is A down and this is a sideways, and then we come over here for a nice break, I'm sure I'll get a buy signal somewhere down here if that's the case. So there's not a lot new I can add, except I just think we're going sideways to maybe lower. So I just want, I want new people to understand, because a lot of people I don't think understand, how I trade, how Wyckoff trades, et cetera, because we got a lot of new people. We're like 180 people. So I know people are waiting for buys, want this or that. And I think, a few people, I think you probably going to need to zoom out a little bit and try to get a bigger picture, because the buys we've had are so much lower, even on Ethereum, that I'm trying to just figure out the next buy point. Litecoin we caught all the way up. I mean, so I think here in this channel, I mean, we'll pick our good winners. We'll pick the ones that are good risk reward that we can turn into big gainers. And trading this short term is just a little bit tougher here, and we just got to figure it out. So, but I'll answer questions. I mean, I think everybody knows I pretty well, if I don't answer your question, it's just because I missed it. Obviously, I'm extremely busy during the day. You don't know when I'm sleeping, because I'll sleep at a lot of different times, because I get bothered early in the morning pretty bad. So, and just make sure if I don't answer you, just tag me again, or if, or just DM me straight to me. That way I'll definitely not miss you. So not trying to miss any questions. And anything here we need to go over?
Yeah, I'll start reading through some of these and see what kind of questions we got for us or any charts. Here we go. The Dead Rabbits wants you to look at EOS, ATOM, Dash, and Zcash.
I mean, EOS is one. The software was looking pretty good on EOS. I mean, they're again a little bit weaker here, but I still think same thing. We're trying to do some type of correction, and we'll come out of here higher. But that one and I will tell you, I woke up the one day afraid that this was a triangle up here. I bought a little bit of 625 or so. I ended up getting rid of it around 635. Small profits, scratches, etc. I decided that wasn't going to be it, because I didn't like the way Bitcoin acted at the top. So I slid out, didn't buy back because I thought Bitcoin would go a little bit lower. So same thing. I like EOS. Short term, I think you just got to sit here and wait. Dash was another one. Somebody mentioned, do I trade USD BTC? So I want to answer that too, but we'll try to get to that. I mean, here's Dash. I still think, a lot of coins have this count. So somewhere here, same thing, we're working on a 4. I would say probably this is an A, that's a B, this is a C. We're going to mouse around on this 4. It's probably going to end up much higher, maybe up in there. And I know that somebody's going to ask about BCH, because I did put that in the Discord just a little bit ago. So same type of thing. I think we're, kind of looks like the Dash. We're doing a high level. I caught that low exactly just from eyeing it on the chart. But again, this could be an A down, this could be a triangle, and we come down here hard one more time. So that's why we got to be careful. It can be a continuation wave 4, or it could be a correction wave B, which means there's another C coming down. And I'll try to teach people all I can about Elliott Wave as we move forward. XMR, we haven't gone over that one really.
ZEC is the other one he asked about too.
Here's XMR. I mean, same chart. If this is a 1-2, then a 1-2, 3, 4, 5. Now we're working on a 4. That one's got a nice little formation there. So again, wave 4, ZEC.
Yep.
Now, obviously, this one's a little bit weaker. So you've got, this is a 1-2, but the 2 went to a new low. But so you can't really label it a 1-2 by Elliott Wave, but I really think that's what it is. Is it's doing the same type of thing, but it just can't get going. So maybe this is a 1-2, 3, 4, 5. And again, still working on some type of sideways that resolves to higher. And I don't trade. I mean, Nick does. I don't. I normally, for me, looking at charts, I'm looking at the USD. I don't want to trade against Bitcoin that's moving as well. I think that makes it tougher. And I don't like the volume from those things. So you'll always see me posting against USD. I'll only do against BTC if somebody asks me.
And then the last one for the the reason I use Satoshis on a lot of the charts is because here's the main driver. This answers a couple questions too. Cyril, I know you can't be in here live, but I know you asked this question in Discord. the reason I do that is because when trading a lot of these smaller altcoins, the main goal is one thing. That's to make more Bitcoin. So I'm trading against Bitcoin because usually I'm taking a portion of my Bitcoin holding that I've delegated as a trading part. And when I see good setups on some of these smaller coins or Palm Beach Confidential picks or projects that are really strong fundamentally but are lagging from the TA perspective like we just did on QSP, then I try to find a good Satoshi entry and that we can ride a 30-40% pump. And if you put a Bitcoin in, I know that's a lot for a lot of you, but I'm just using that for simplicity purposes. And QSP, for example, ran 30%. You just turn that Bitcoin into 1.3. Now you have an opportunity to take all that off the table. You have 1.3 Bitcoin. Then Cyril asks, okay, well, when do you decide to look for another lower entry in that same altcoin or just to go all in Bitcoin or take out cash? Personally, at these lower prices in the crypto ecosystem, yes, Bitcoin's at 8,000, but it's going to go to 20, it's going to go to 35, and it's probably going to go to 50. I am not really looking to take out cash. I've not invested money that I need to pay my bills, and neither should you guys. So for me, if I am taking it out of QSP or a project that I really don't love or it already had its major run-up, then I'm just going to keep it in Bitcoin. Now, if it's a project that I really love or I can accumulate for a master node or like Zen is a Zen super node or it's something that is very fundamentally strong, then I will look to get back into that project. So QSP, for example, if you bought 100, it went up 30%, you sold, and then you wait for a retracement. I think right now we're at like a 20% dip. Then if you bought all of that back with all the money you made, you would have 120 QSP. You see what I'm saying? So now you're accumulating the bag. But really the decision making for me using Satoshi is because I'm always looking to just get more Bitcoin, and that's the easiest way for me to gauge how well a trade is really going.
Because you're long-term bullish Bitcoin.
Exactly.
Which we all are, but still, if Bitcoin goes back to 4,000, I mean, you're going to take a little bit of wood on that.
You're going to take some wood. But again, the reason I'm okay with doing that is because I'm long-term bullish and because I'm not using my car payment money. This is money I've invested. This is money that's dollar cost average. And a lot of you haven't been around, but people have said we were crazy talking about Bitcoin going down. I said if Bitcoin broke below 4,000, I would take a mortgage out of my house. And people thought I was an idiot. Well, that went through, got in Bitcoin at 35.74, and we've seen all these buys we had. So things are working pretty well, and we're just here for the long term.
To do down there. Because people would be like, you guys were bullish, higher levels, whatever. Well, we wasn't saying mortgage a house up at higher levels. I mean, yeah, I would have told people at 10, 12,000, if you're investing, you got to buy some Bitcoin. And yeah, they'd be down on it right now. But also, we were live giving buys at 1,800, 3,000, et cetera, a couple of years ago. So I just think overall there's big money coming here from just the normal stock investors. As I've said it before over and over, new people maybe haven't heard it, is my average stock client is not in cryptos. Like none of them except one. And that one, I helped him do it through Coinbase. But I've got wealthy investors that said, well, if you'd go and set it up, I'd do it. They're not going to go set it up. So they're going to wait till it's easy at Fidelity, Schwab, everywhere else. And then they're going to be coming. And who knows where Bitcoin's going to be at that time. I think it's going to be a lot higher. So.
Yep. And then the last one that he wanted to look at, I'll pull up real quick, is Atom. For those of you who have not been around as long, you may have not seen the post about that, but essentially we know a validator on the network, and he has access to information as far as when lockups are going to be released, when coins are going to be coming into circulation. So I also talked to him, and he said a fair market value is $4 or below at the time of the posting. We were somewhere up here. People are asking about ATOM over here with all the exchange listings. I said, wait, it dipped down to here. And I was like, no, it's going lower based on the information I have. It did start to rally. People got a little impatient, and there was people that bought here, probably, maybe some of you, even though I said not to. Here is when I made the post that I thought ATOM was going to go much lower due to the information I had. Obviously, we've seen a drastic decrease. And I know the Dead Rabbits is asking about it because he came in there when the dates were coming close. So the actual release dates of the coins were just these couple down days. I said right around here that I thought we were going to go down lower, but I didn't actually give a buy signal down here because I thought the sell-off would be much, much deeper than even this, whatever that is, 10%. Now, it did rally up because the alt season was upon us. That 1 week where all the alts are rebounding, that's what really saved ATOM. But we are seeing this trending back down to the levels we feel comfortable. Now, I do feel comfortable with the long-term fundamentals of Atom. So if we can get a price below $4 or somewhere around $4 and that coincides with testing around this 47.25 Satoshi level, I think at that point I would be comfortable taking a buy. Now, could it go lower? Potentially. But I think over the long term that the fundamentals are there. And that's when I think if both this gets back down below $4 and it lines up with the Satoshi price, that I think it's a low risk entry. And especially if you guys look at the bigger picture, I know some of you weren't there, but people were asking me to buy it up here. We said no. People were asking to buy it right here, and we said no. So if we can get anything back below those, we're doing quite well and saved quite a bit of money not chasing up at these levels. The reason me and Todd are so confident in a lot of our calls and stick by the analysis is because we're doing it too. We're not just the people on Twitter that are like, oh, I made 30%, and they don't show order books or whatever it is. If you guys ask for order books, I'll give you order books. And, we have such conviction. We stay true to our picks, even if it just slightly misses, because we are trading our own money. And if the setup isn't perfect, then there's no reason to take on more risk. These are 24/7 markets with 2,000 coins. There's always going to be another trade and another opportunity. We're looking for big gainers and low risk opportunities. That's why trading Bitcoin up here for hopefully a $100 loss or $100 gain is just the wrong risk profile, especially if you're long term. If you trade out and, I made $100, but I don't own any Bitcoin, and then we have that fifth leg, Bitcoin at 12,000, and you're stuck around, you're paying for Patreon, you're doing all this, and you own no Bitcoin, then what good did it do? And I think that's the bigger picture we've been trying to paint all year long with all these lower level buys, starting from $3,000 all the way up, and no major sells until $8,200, because we captured all of that momentum. And if you were short-term trading, you probably missed out on a lot of the gains that Bitcoin saw there.
Somebody asked about BAT. Let me run through that because that's got the Wyckoff markings on it. So if anyone has any questions on Wyckoff. And, guys, everyone's paid to be in here, obviously. So trying to get, some decent advice, willing to teach you, etc. I would say if you really want to continue and know what I'm doing and what I'm saying, you really need to sign up for the $299 course. We got 20% off because then you're going to learn some of these markings. So this is preliminary support. A lot of times preliminary support will come in at the same point over to the right where a last point of support will come in. You can see that was perfect. It's also perfect on, ADA. So this was classic accumulation and BAT. Preliminary support, that's a selling climax, automatic rally, secondary test. You go sideways, volume falls off. A lot of times you go down and do a spring. It went down and did a spring, then it had a big rally, big volume, right back into the trading range. It tested it. We was talking about this live on the show. It went up and did a sign of strength, up thrust, moused around here, held high level support for a last point of support, did a jump across the creek, back up to the creek, and then it started a markup phase. And a lot of people that do Wyckoff will buy springs and uptrends. That's what this was. We talked about that live on air, buying that spring. We ran off again. I didn't give a sell up here. It got really frothy up there. Everyone knows Big Beezy, everybody was bullish up there. I thought that was a buying climax. I really thought we'd probably do a range between this 38 and 50 for reaccumulation. That's why I gave this buy, because that was kind of also a spring and an uptrend. That didn't work. We came down. I gave a buy here when the software was pretty oversold. I know down here people were asking, Nick and I both said, go ahead and pick it up because you're back down at this previous fourth wave support, which is an Elliott wave rule. So then I really said, 50% back, this thing got a little weaker than I expected. You might want to be careful. I thought we'd go sideways. We're doing that. I would think somewhere here BAT's going to dig in and we're going to work higher again. So I'm not in a hurry to buy this one because it looks still a little sloppy. But, I would say that this is going to work higher at some point. So.
And really the reason all those markings, matter and teaches you patience is because that is an accumulation phase of Wyckoff. That is, what is that, 2 or 3 months there where you could have bought BAT for 10 to 13 cents at any point, or right. And you could have been like, oh man, I need to trade this 1 penny move, or do I need to sell? And you could have been freaking out rather than just, you had 3 months to accumulate at 12 cents, and then we watched it jump the creek right there, led to a backup, and then you could have tripled your money. And that's why sometimes you need to take patience on these coins that are setting up perfectly with Wyckoff or Elliott Wave and look at the bigger picture. Instead of stressing yourself up, having your wife leave you, and being on Discord 24/7 for pennies, you can make your life a lot easier. Find the good trades, find the good setups, buy them, wait Sometimes it takes a day for us to make 30 cents or 30%. Sometimes it takes a week for us to make 30%. Sometimes it, like Bat here, it took a month to play out, but you could have made 300% profit for doing 2 trades. And that's what we're really looking for. And those are the opportunities that hopefully we can help you find with Wyckoff and Elliott Wave here in crypto, stocks, whatever it is. If it trades, ask us and we'll take a look at the chart.
And then, if you catch some of these, now you got money to burn on some short-term trades, see if you can catch another one, et cetera. So, but I think, a lot of people short-term trading. This, I used to have, I mentioned it before, it's in my other office where, the hardest game in the world is Wall Street. But that was before cryptos.
Yeah.
The hardest thing in the world is trading crypto short-term. I mean, there's nothing harder than that. There's nothing more emotionally draining. There's nothing more stressful. So,
all right, let's
so
go through.
You're playing the toughest game in the world.
Let's run through some of these comments and then we'll do the giveaway. Lloyd Christmas, Todd, appreciate you helping to filter out all the high risk. Really valuable to me that you don't just try and call everything a buy. Let the market trade come to you. M. McCock. Man, I can never say your name. I don't know. You know who I'm talking about, the puppy dog here. I've had my bags packed since the Patreon began. I'm just waiting now. That's what I'm talking about. Darren says, I have a question. I'm trying to learn Wyckoff, and the current BTC chart looks like the textbook version of accumulation, and I'm wondering why it's not. Is it the volume? ?
Where's that note at?
Right at the top of my screen right now.
I think you definitely got to throw some volume definitely into the equation. Yeah, and I do think, people always want objectives and things, and I think objectives are tougher. A lot of that comes from point and figure charts, which I don't show as much because a lot of these point and figure charts, even from TradingView, aren't working very well. I'm trying to get that figured out with our software. But, and then you got to be able to bring in volume from more exchanges. So to call this accumulation, I mean, it's somewhat tough. I mean, this could be a shakeout. See, it's not really a spring because we're not springing anything. I mean, it's been a little bit better Elliott Wave for me because, you could call this here. This could have been a buying climax. It's not a clean one. This chart's tough to throw a short-term. I think it's reaccumulation is what I think it is. But it didn't give you a clear-cut accumulation phase. I mean, you could call this, again, volume is really weak over to here. But that made me think that was, more of a triangle, and then, we had a little bit of weakness here, and we've recovered it. So there's not, there's not a lot of clues that this is reaccumulation for me. And for objectives, I think you got to use probably a little bit of Fibonacci. And then again, if we explode to the upside, there'll be a way of looking at a last point of support, doing a point and figure chart, bringing it over and giving us some estimates on the upside, which we'll do on down the road. And we're going to try to do, we've talked about them. I mean, we give a lot of stuff. I give a lot of stuff away on Twitter, YouTube channel. We're somewhat doing that to try to build this group up so we can, really teach, really learn, and have some fun. So, I'm trying to refrain. I'm trying to give everything maybe even a little bit later over there and keep all the good stuff here for all of us.
FOMO002 says, Todd, can you please explain from Wyckoff point of view what the mechanism behind rising volume and at same time price falling? What does it mean? What does it tell? I think he's referring to on the software. Usually you're talking about, price held while volumes go, negative volumes coming in, etc.
Yeah, that goes back to, that's what's happening here. You can see the volume up here is at the highs. We can go over that again because I'll also show, because that's the reason we got the buy signals on the way up. Let this load real quick. A lot of today's charts was at my trading desk. You can see this is a 2-day chart. Go out to the 1 month. Yeah, if I'm using the Fibonacci, I mean, I'm using the 0.618, 0.382, 1.618. That's really about all that I probably use. So there's a 5-minute intraday Bitcoin chart. So this is from at my other desk again, but this is like an ABC down in volume, this movement right over here. And you can see price held up higher. And I call that real time really a triangle ending, because volume was coming to the downside, which means the public is selling and price is not going down, which means why? That means somebody is buying it from the dumb public. And when the public's done selling and we did get oversold in the technometer down here, then we give it a chance to rally. So that's what happened. And then it just took off. And that was back at that 6,000 level where just shorts were heavy, longs were not long. So I just felt like, if you go back and look at that, you can tell I was nervously just how bullish I was, that I thought, we given buys all the way up to 6,000, and I was getting ready to almost say that now we're getting ready to accelerate. So I was nervous to be wrong and get slapped there, and basically trolled for doing that. But now what's happening, and I said this on the way up, where would you have a sell signal at? And you would have it when volume's going up and price isn't. So on a really small basis, that's happening because we're going to new high, and we just went to a new high, like an hour ago. So people are buying, and I'm going to say it's the people that haven't bought all along, obviously. They weren't buying back here. They weren't buying over here. This is the same type of buy setup. So they haven't bought all along, but now they're starting to buy. So from, basically from 8,400 Bitcoin, they're buying, but their buying is not increasing the price at all. So that means somebody is selling into the buying, which is why I'm still saying that we're in the middle of a correction. So you don't want to buy a $200 pump in Bitcoin or $400 pump or whatever, because I think somehow we're still in a triangle. And again, that could have been a C wave of the triangle. So that might have been your only chance to buy before we rally to 10 grand. And the reason that's it, because you got to go into Bitcoin USDT. I really, it's been expensive for me, time consuming, stressful, because really you need to have a chart of Bitcoin with all the stable, against USDT and TUSD and all those, and try to put everything more in your favor. Because here's Bitcoin USDT, which is a different chart. So what's going on kind of here is volume is coming down and price is holding in a triangle pattern, which has been bullish reasons to buy before. So that low could have been pretty important right there. But if it is, probably this is an A, that's B, this is C. And we're working on a D up that's going to go to about 8,100, another pullback to 7,800. And then, you might see me saying, well, if you're really bullish, you might want to jump on it. And if you look at Ethereum, Litecoin, like we just did, they look a little triangle-y. I mean, so, if you look at Ethereum, that looks like A down, B up, C down, and A up of D. So we're going to come down here, go up to here, do a D, come down for an E, and then we're ready to go. So that's why it's not been easy for me. Those two charts on Bitcoin USD, Bitcoin USDT are both a little bit different. So I think if you bring it all together, it still says we're in a correction, and I hope I get a buy signal before the correction ends. That's all I can really say, because we're long from way lower levels on a lot of coins, and I think we're still going higher. Then hopefully as we go up, if we do get the rally to 9,000, 10,000, hopefully there'll be a glaring reason to sell up there that we can know we need to sell, and the sell-off might be 30% or something, which will be worthwhile to move out of and get in front of before a lot of coins come under pressure again.
All right, what other questions we got in here? Joshua Jane says BTC Matic just had a bit of a retrace on the 15 minutes, dipped to 338 and trying to move back up. That would be below that 350 level that I was saying. 350, 360, you can look for a stop. The way the chart was looking before, if it broke below that 350, I really thought that you might have an opportunity to get a test of the 260 lows somewhere around there. So I'll have to look at that after the show and throw my thoughts in Discord. If you got stopped out at 350, 360 and you're still bullish on Matic, well, then pick it up for 338 and you added a few coins at the bag. Somebody wants you to look at Knowles and QKC. S. Moxon says, time to take the train home. Catch you guys later. There you go. See you in Discord and make sure to watch the rest of this video. Maddie Fresh says, although I'm just a lurker and still learning, I really appreciate you guys doing this for us. Hey, you know, it isn't just, you know, you guys pay for Patreon. So we're going to do everything we can to help, you know, we're trading to make money. So we're trying to give the information in the way we're trading to make money onto you guys. We're trying to do giveaway for you guys. We're trying to really make it worth time and worth your value and really educate you so you can learn a little bit about how I look at fundamentals, how Todd looks at the charts, and bring it all together. If you get nothing else out of Patreon, the most important thing, really, is just learning how to do your own research, number one, properly, and then number two, how to keep your emotions in check. We talk about that all the time, especially in this correction. A lot of people are in Discord, you know, well, if we break 79, we're going to go to 85, so I need to buy, do this, do that. Nick, did you or Todd's opinion change? No, we're just waiting up here. You know, we had a lot of buys, a lot of activity, a lot of good trades. Some of you just came in at the end of this month, but we just made a lot of money on Link with the Palm Beach Confidential pick. We made some good money on other smaller cryptos like QSP, Zen, etc. And those trades will come again, but we can't just force them. So sometimes you'll join and the next day we'll have 4 trades for you to do and they'll all be winners. And that's just a matter of timing. And we don't control the market. We're just reacting to what the chart is telling us, to what the news is for individual cryptos, and trying our best to position our portfolio to make gains and take advantage of all that.
And Gene Paul says emotions the biggest. I mean, emotions, yeah, it's like 70% of this. So it's tough. I mean, you really got to do the opposite of everyone around you. I mean, you got to stay even keel. It's pretty tough. And I mentioned it on a show before. I mean, when I was live with Matt, there was way more emotions going on. There was way more discussions, way more of FOMO, whatever, and that affected me some. And you know, and then also, you know, in the past, I have read other Elliott Wave people. I don't really look at other Wyckoff people because I think no one's got the tools. Even people that take our courses, the Unleash course, end up not using the software, which is beside me. I mean, it makes no sense. I think a lot of people are looking to try to sell, you know, they're trying to do their own Discord. They're trying to do their own website, whatever. So they want to learn Wyckoff. They want to spin it a little bit and call it, you know, Nickoff. And instead of following with what's working, you know, they want to reinvent the wheel, I think, so they can sell a product. So that's why a lot of people don't do it. So I think you just, you know, I think you stay focused. I've done better this year by I don't have a lot of stress around me, and my wife supports me, and you know, I don't read a lot of news. I read news to throw it in our blog at learncrypto.io. Read some news for Nick and I to shoot the shit or something to talk about on a live show. But a lot of the news it's just going to make you more emotional. So I think you got to get all that away from your head. And Wyckoff works. I mean, I've proven that with real money 40 years ago. So, you know, it's not going to, you know, you guys could sit here in the next 4 months, I could suck and whatever. But I'm going to be probably more right than I am wrong. If you're trading, you know, I'll have good risk reward. PCG accounts gave me shit because we held a lot on the way down, but that's a whole nother story because we made a lot of money on the way up. And, you know, we had 1 month where Bitcoin fell to 6,000 and then, you know, but again, you just got to, you know, I think we're going a lot higher. We're going to get a sell-off here. It's probably going to scare a lot of people again. But I think you learn Wyckoff. I think you know a little bit of Elliott Wave. Keep your emotions in check. And I think you'll get better as you go along. And I think you'll get better by being a part of this. I mean, I'm not really a teacher. I'm a trader. When I took out WyckoffSMI.com, I got it from Jim O'Brien, who really is a teacher. That's what he's done his whole life and not really a trader. I've kind of done this. So, you know, you'll notice that my teaching skills probably up to par because that's not what I am. I'm in here trading and doing it, but I do know my shit. I will provide it to people. I will answer your questions. I will do whatever. So,
The Dead Rabbit says, Nick, at what point do you think some of these coins will decouple from BTC and be judged as standalone projects based on their merit and facts? Well, the thing is, the decoupling of altcoins kind of occurs. You know, the ones that are known that have strong fundamentals do decouple in terms, if you looked at it like a correlation, I don't want to get real high level. I have a math degree, but essentially, if you start to look at them, some of them are less correlating and starting to run on their own merits. But if Bitcoin went down 1,000 right now, 99% of all alts will follow. Why does that happen? Number one, the market capitalization is tiny. So when you have less money, the volatility is going to be higher, but also the amount of investors in the space is very tiny as well. Until this space matures and you get institutional investors and you have institutional exposure on various options, whether it's backed, TD Ameritrade, ErisX, and that wealth, not only the pool gets larger, but then it's also spread out to other opportunities. I think you're going to have that volatility where you see all alts are going to be following Bitcoin. Bitcoin right now serves as the index. So unlike the stock market, which you have a bunch of equities, and then really the S&P 500 is the index made up of the top 500 equities or whatever it's up to now. Right now, there is nothing like that in crypto. There is no large cap crypto index besides Grayscale's, which has like maybe 1.5 million bucks in it, which is nothing. So Bitcoin serves as the index. So until there's some kind of index on an institutional scale that replaces Bitcoin as an index, a lot of these alts will continue to follow. And again, until the space matures, until we get more money in the space, more different types of investors, and maybe like, you know, Microsoft actually starts using EOS, for example, or something like that, you're not really going to see a major decoupling occurring, in my opinion. Do you have anything to add to that, Todd?
No, not really. No.
What else we got going on here?
The other thing I would say is learn from your mistakes. The mistakes are, you know, your losing trades are the best ones because you need to learn from them to not do them again. So learn from those.
Jack Stickler said, what percent pullback are you looking for BTC versus alts? What's the high, medium, low estimates for pullback for both of you? I think, you know, still there's still that possibility of what, 7,200 BTC right here if you have a pullback right here right now.
I think 6,800 is worst case if there's some type of crazy news. I mean, that wouldn't bother me. I'd be really bullish if that would happen. I don't see that happening, but it could.
And I mean, I think, you know, 7,000 to 72 has been what we've been looking for a long time. I don't know what the percentage breakdown is on that on BTC from here. Not a ton. What is that, 5% or something maybe? Let's say hypothetically it's 5%. Alts will probably go down about 10%. Probably a 2x factor here. As we've already seen, you know, we thought we were looking for the alts to maybe get some wind behind their sails, and some of the really small ones did that. We trade QSP, Link, Matic, some of those. But some of the larger alts like Litecoin and Ethereum are still not only following Bitcoin, but actually performing to the downside, probably 2x the factor of BTC on any corrections we're seeing lately.
I got a chart here of Knowles, which I like. I mean, I'm going to say, obviously, somewhere you're going to call this accumulation, and we jumped the creek and backed up to it. So you could throw a line here. I mean, when some of these alts dig in, I would think that would be one that could do well. So I would be long that. It's starting to show some strength here, even shorter term. So I think that one goes higher.
And really, you can stay bullish on that, even if it comes all the way back to that creek, because then it can just be, you know, another test, you know, so another backup.
I think just kind of know your time frame that you're trading. So, because again, if you're trading long term, it's tough to have stops, because what's the upside on these things? I mean, I don't know, 4x, 10x, you know, 50x, I don't know. If you're trading short term, if you're overextended, if you're adding to a position, I mean, yeah, you need to use stops. So we'll talk about that as we go along. But, you know, if you're trying to build a bag, I think get the coins you like and maybe add on at certain points, or trade a little bit to get yourself, you know, a little bit better a trader, etc.
And then Nate Youngman says, how do you determine movement targets? i.e., how do you pick buy and sell target prices without a point and figure chart, which I have yet to figure out how to make in the crypto space?
I mean, TradingView has point and figure charts, so you can, you know, if it's like Litecoin trading at $80, it's easy to do a point and figure chart. If it's something trading at 0.000078, you know, I get errors when I bring up it. So, and I was hoping our software could do it, which I don't have that done either. So it's a little bit tougher. Normally, Wyckoff would use point figure charts to figure out objectives. So again, that's tough to do. That's why I use some Elliott wave, because wave 3 will be the strongest part of a wave. It might be 1.618 of 1, things like that. And then you'd watch intraday volume. I mean, you'd watch the 5-minute volume chart. So to try to tell you, again, if buying's coming in, price isn't responding. When price goes up and volume doesn't, that's telling you that, volume's not following along. So it's probably an upthrust, spring, etc. So.
And then for myself, for these targets, for these smaller cryptos, I think the first tool, which you're probably going to laugh at, is you got to throw the emotions out. You can't fall in love with these projects, and you got to know when enough is enough. So a lot of these targets, I'm looking historically, all right, is this project known for having major wicks higher, etc.? Obviously, I'm looking at other stuff on there. And then I'm also looking at historical resistance points moving back. So if I'm looking at, for QSP example, how did I get those targets? Really simple. I thought fundamentally it is very strong. It was lagging as other altcoins were breaking out. So I figured, okay, this is a good target. I'm looking at this level to buy because it was on support. And then I'm looking at major overhead resistance levels, as well as where the moving averages are falling. And then I'm putting sells right around those. Now, those have been sometimes magically hitting to the SAT level. And you also got to realize, they're like, well, why 370? Why not 425? Because 370 is a 35% gainer right on a resistance point. I'm going to be really happy with a 35% gainer on that resistance point rather than trying to get that extra 5% where it really needs to break through that resistance. And then now you're looking at a breakout. And then I'm going to be like, oh man, well, we're at 425. We broke resistance. Are we going to go higher? And then you keep going in that trend, keep moving the benchmark. You never actually pull the sell, and you watch it retrace all the way back down to the entry. Wasted 2 weeks of trading potential and made nothing. So I think that's the biggest thing. Be happy. A win is a win, whether it's 10%, 20, 30. But if we stick targets out there, or you create targets yourself, stick to them. I like to put them on the books in the form of a limit sells or limit buys. That way I'm not changing. If something really is ripping and roaring, maybe I'll reduce, instead of selling 100% of my bag, I'll sell 50% and let the rest run, or whatever it may be. But stick to those targets because you picked them for a reason, and I picked them for a reason as well. And realize even if it keeps running, you locked in 35% gains. You have 35% more dollars or Bitcoin to now look for another trade. You pulled the trigger to make the sell, and sometimes that's the hardest part for people. And then you get in that hodl mode where you just you ride it all the way up, you ride it all the way down, and you're net even. So we're trying to capitalize on some profits and really trying to accumulate Bitcoin in US dollars. That's the main goal of this group, and that's really all ties to the teaching of Wyckoff, to the teaching of Elliott Wave, but also to just checking your emotions at the door. Welcome to Learn Crypto. Leave the emotions outside of the Discord, and let's see what we can do with a non-biased approach towards all the charts.
James wants to know what's the easiest indicator to use on Binance to determine buy and sells. I don't think there is one. I mean, I think you got to bring in more volume versus just Binance. I think you could do a 5-minute on-balance volume on a 5-minute chart if you was trading for the next 7 to 10 days, and you have the ability to bring that up, that would help. Then maybe throw an RSI with it. So, that's kind of a little bit about what our OP force and technometer is at Wyckoff.
Yeah, I mean, ideally we'll get the software completed and we'll all be able to use OP force and tech and have more 5-minute intraday volume for multiple exchanges. Now, for most of you, that's not possible now. Obviously, if you're using Binance, for example, I like to have RSI up. I like to have volume up. I like to have, I do look at some moving averages as well. I have 3 moving averages on there just to kind of give me a general idea of where we are at in a market cycle. And then I can apply some of the fundamental research or some technical analysis over what is going on in the actual chart to try to plan from there. And that's where you can get some of those targets. But you got to take advantage of the best tools you have. And although the software has been kicking out all the buys and sells, if you don't have it and you're using Binance, for example, like I said, those are the 3 indicators I personally use and have had a lot of success with. All those indicators are there because they work one form or another, but you just got to find out what indicators are working best for you and then just create your own trading strategy or follow me and Todd's and let us help you build a trading strategy based on the charts that we're showing you and the readings we're getting as well. You want to do this giveaway? Let's do this giveaway.
Yep.
All right, guys. We're doing a giveaway. We're giving away 4 giveaways. So we're going to go from the smallest prize up to the biggest prize, 4 winners. If you are on Patreon at any level, $5, $10, or $30, you are entered to win. If you paid in crypto for this month, I got you on this separate list here, so you didn't get put on the Excel sheet that I pulled out from Patreon, but I got you on here with a number by your name. The way this is going to work is I have a number generator with a minimum of 1 and the max number of 191. We do have a few less than that. You know, some of these columns don't count. But if the number ends up being your name, they are in alphabetical order besides those who paid in crypto, you will win the prize. So you might want to root for yourself to win anything, but the prizes will be getting bigger as we go. No person can win 2 of the prizes. We want to spread it out. Don't be greedy, guys. And hopefully, if you win, then that pays for a third, a half, or 10 of your Patreon months here at Learn Crypto. So here we go. The first winner is going to be number...
We got to do the horse race.
Number 74. Number 74. What do we got? Who is number 74? Hung Vu Negan. Congratulations, Hung Vu Negan. You won 1 Ethereum Classic, currently valued at $7. I'm going to try to message you. But if you see this, message me with your Ethereum Classic address, and I will... Let me get your name down here so I don't lose it. I will send you that 1 Ethereum Classic. All right, see how this goes, guys? We got 3 more prizes. This one is for 50,000 RPD, currently valued at $10. At its highs, is worth about $20. And, of course, you can stake it or add it to that master node of yours. And the winner is... number 73. It barely moved. It barely moved. Oh, that's the same number. There. 169. 169. The winner is Thomas J. Iverson. 50,000 RPD. What are they saying in the chat over there?
Somebody wanted if I did Fibonacci time analysis. I had a friend that used to do a lot of that. I never have. I don't really do any cycle work. So I'm no help on that. None of that is really Wyckoff. Elliott Wave does a little bit of cycle work. I'm thinking about it. You know, Elliott Wave International's got a crypto recommendation and stuff. I'm thinking of subscribing to some of them, even though I don't want to blur my own thoughts, but they give us probably more things to go over. Just mattering, you know, we was doing 1 of these a month, right, Nick?
At least, yeah.
It was a plan. Maybe we'll try to do a little bit more, especially with as many members as we have. So, you know, we'll start providing more service here and try to teach people as long as there's enough people that really want to learn.
The third prize will be 1 Zen. You guys know I run supernodes on the network. I say you should probably run a supernode or a secure node depending on your the amount, how large your portfolio is, or if you're a miner, you can actually proof of work Zen as well. But this will be for 1 Zen, currently valued at $12. The winner is number 8, all the way to the top. Lucky number 8 is Alex. Now I got 2 Alexes here, so this is, I'm gonna have to write down some extra information here. All right, now you need to hit those horses again, Todd, because it is time for the big one. We gave away 1 Ethereum Classic, 50,000 RPD, and 1 Zen to the Patreon members. But the fourth, the big monthly prize is for a cryptocurrency and Wyckoff trading course, currently valued at $299. You guys can get 20% off as part of a perk for being a Patreon member. So you could get this for $260. So if you really want the course, I know there's about 4 of you that are looking to buy the course actively and you don't win it, make sure to use that promo code so you can get it for $260. Now, if you win this and you already have the course or you don't really want it, we ask that hopefully you use your login to give it to a kid or give it to somebody who does want to learn, or to let us know and we'll throw it back in the pile and give away a course on top of the Ledger Nano S for the big prizes next month. So we'll see who the winner is. I'm sure you guys will want this because this will help you a lot in your trading by yourself and understanding what Todd is talking about. This is available at learncrypto.io, and the winner is number 23. Number 23.
Who's your daddy?
The big winner is Brian Green. Shout out to Brian Green.
Cool. That's, what is it, River City? Email address?
Brian Green, River City. So are you local?
That's what I thought when I saw that email like a week ago.
Huh. Well, shout out if any of the winners watch this. Shoot me a message. If not, I'm going to look you up on Patreon based on the name I have here. And then we'll go ahead and give you the Ethereum Classic, RPD, Zen, and the trading course. That's as simple as it is. Yes, we are one of the cheapest Patreons out there for all these crypto traders. I can't believe people pay some of these crypto guys like $150, $200 a month for one person. We try to be cheap so everybody can get in here, everybody can learn. And then we try to, since we grew so much, we wanted to give back. And that's why we do these giveaways. So at least once a month, we'll have these Patreon-only live shows and give back some crypto. Usually it's Ethereum Classic or RPD or Zen because I do have master nodes on the network, our mining rigs on the network, so I earn that passively. And so I have that laying around in wallets to give away. And then, of course, might give away other trading courses. We're going to give away a Ledger Nano S. We've given away a Litecoin sign before that Dustin Nelson actually made. So we give away various items to you guys, and hopefully you guys stick around for your chance to win some of those great items. Any new questions in there, Todd, or any questions going on?
No, sorry, I'm over here trying to do some other business. No, a lot of congrats. Congrats to Brian, that was cool. I don't really, what else?
So, also, Cyril was asking about this. So, the last Patreon-only live show, that was about a month ago, I said there's information I had that could potentially get us a 50x in 6 months. Now, it has been 1 month, so now in 5 months. The price of this asset has gone up a little bit. I said I was waiting for major events in order to announce this crypto. One event has happened, so I think what I'm going to do is that this weekend I am going to make a Patreon-only video to put in Discord for this asset. Now, I'm going to give this disclaimer now, and I'll also give it in the video. The information I have is still relying on one more event for the full 50x potential to occur in the next 4 to 5 months. Could be a great opportunity, but also this comes with very high risk. There is a reason why there is the opportunity, which will be explained in the video, and maybe 90% of you probably should not take the risk, or if you're going to take the risk, maybe throw $100 at it. There is a possibility that this does go to zero, but there is a possibility that it does reach the price point that it should be at, and that's about all the hint I can give. But I will do the video this weekend because one of the events occurred. The price is starting to creep up, so instead of a fixed 50x, it might be a 35x, but the time frame also shrunk. So instead of now before it was 6 months, now it might be 4 to 5 months. And essentially, if this final event happens, it's pretty much free money. Usually the easy money is not possible, but there is an opportunity here. So I will be putting that in Discord. Keep an eye on for that. Guys,
if it goes to zero, you're going to eat hot dogs at the county fair.
I'll have my disclaimers on there. I'm going to put some money in there, but a very small position as well, even with the information I have. Understand, too, that you do pay for Patreon, and I haven't seen this yet. I'm not accusing anybody of it, but realize that a lot of people are paying with their own money for Patreon. We're trying to help those who paid. We're trying to help you. What I'm trying to get at is we're not trying to help the public. So stuff we post in Patreon, we would like to ask you not to post on Twitter, not to post in public. Maybe you can share it with your best friend or your wife, but that is really about it. Patreon-only live shows like this do not go public. We hope you don't take it public. And then, of course, picks that we're giving, Palm Beach Confidential information, this potential 50x picks, Patreon-only videos, we hope you don't share as well. That's courtesy to us, but that's courtesy to you and then everybody else who pays as well. Like I said, if we're doing great trades and you're telling your best buddy, some of the trades, that's fine, but we really don't want you to be copying and pasting and putting it on Twitter, YouTube, whatever it may be.
I guess people put in other
we'll
Discords, right? Some people are known to do that, I guess.
Yeah, exactly.
Don't tell the wifey or the girlfriend.
If there is any other questions, if you want any more fundamental questions, recent news, my opinion on it, technical analysis, let us know. We've gone over a bunch. We've already been live now for over an hour. We also just did the 4 giveaways there. Let us know. Now is your time to ask questions. This is the Patreon only live show. If you didn't catch us live this time, make sure to watch this full recording. Ask us questions in Discord. Just tag me or Todd, of course. And we will be doing more Patreon only live shows at least once a month, maybe multiple times a month, depending on our schedule. And then, like I said, we're always in Discord. That's the main perk of Patreon.com. We post some stuff on Patreon.com, but a lot of it is over in Discord. That is where it's easy. You know, on every computer I have 1, 2, 3, 5 computers that I work from. The Discord is always up. Todd has 8 monitors over there, plus 2 monitors here. He has a laptop and he has his phone. Discord is on every platform. So that's just where we're easily available, whether I'm out to dinner, laying in bed, whatever. That's when we can see some of these tags and answer your questions.
XMR, yeah, we went over that. Still looks higher. I'm sure everybody saw my Twitter. I should have put that balls of steel on that picture of Jaws. Everybody saw that. Bring that over to my picture. I should have put that.
I've got balls of steel.
That's one of Todd's dogs.
Oh, God. He's living the life with the wife right now. Too funny. Bitcoin doing nothing.
Gene Paul says, what happens in Learn Crypto stays in Learn Crypto.
Right.
I mean, like I said, guys, it's not like we can police it. I just want, that to kind of put that out there. You're paying for it. Other people are paying for it. A lot of the stuff I'm saying here isn't confidential, but it's not public. I'm not putting on Twitter or whatever it may be. So, take that advantage and do what you will with it. We just hope that you're not copying and pasting, etc. And you can give your buddy a couple free trades. That's fine. But at some point, you need to get on his butt to be like, all right, Brian, you just need to get your own Patreon link. I'm sick of giving you all the information.
Bitcoin Hex, they've asked about that a couple times. If you want to comment on that, because I will pass.
Oh, number 8 just reached out to me. Shout out to you. Bitcoin Hex. Look, this was something that he hyped up a long time ago. It was supposed to come through. We've seen a lot of Bitcoin forks, XPM, Prime Coin, Bitcoin Hex, Bitcoin SV, Bitcoin Diamond, Bitcoin Gold. What is the main thesis of all of them? That they've all kind of failed. Currently, I don't really have any interest in Bitcoin Hex. I haven't been watching Hart's recent videos. I was watching the ones, 8 months ago when he first started talking about the potential of this coin. So to be honest, I really haven't kept up to date with any changes in the governance structure or the fundamentals of the project. I know I'm not chomping at the bit at it, but if he has a recent video, throw it in the crypto news section of the Discord. I'll give a watch, give a listen, and then give you a more in-depth, thorough opinion of the coin. But at this point, from what I heard in the past, I'm not that excited. The timeline took forever. I mean, perfect timing. You're going to be launching it now when the bull market's starting. That already seems a little scammy and sketchy to me right there, because he's been talking about this for a year. So we'll see.
I do not use moving averages. I think maybe Nick does a little bit, but I know where like the 50 a day, 200 a day might be, but I can't really say it affects any of my decision making.
I don't trade moving averages. Some people will be like, well, my lowest time frame just crossed through my highest time frame. That's a buy. And if it goes back below from the top side, that's a sell. I don't really trade them like that. What I do use them for is just to get general levels of support. If that lines up with historical resistance, that gives me a little more confidence in putting a sell or a buy at those levels. And then also you can kind of see where you are in the market cycle if those lower moving averages are passing through the longer moving averages from the top side. Things have been a little more bearish and may continue to do so if that longer moving average does not hold levels. So I don't use them a ton, but I do have them as kind of how Todd used Elliott Wave on top of Wyckoff. I do just put the moving averages on my charts just as kind of a confirmation tool. If I got a good RSI reading, I got good volume, and I got good historical resistance levels, and the moving average happens to be there, that makes me a little more confident to put those trades in Discord and those price levels in specific. What else you got, Ty? What are you looking at over there?
Nah, just going through a few things. I don't have much else. I'm going to Fast Eddie's. If anybody's around, meet me at Fast Eddie's. Drinking and shrimp. Well, not much drinking because I don't really drink, but I hear you, KK. I mean, yeah, I would agree with you. Waves and QKC, I thought, didn't I do waves earlier today? Here's waves USD. Go to the 4 hour. I know I guess that was before the last pump because I know I said waves. Was it on the show this morning or yesterday? I'd said that I thought that was a sign of strength, ABC pullback. And this would resolve the upside and would get going. So I guess that's what it did. Damn. I don't trade waves like that.
Well, you should have.
No shit. That's a 250 to a 310. As BZ does it, it's 250 and I got out the exact high at 352. I made 142%. QKC. Damn it, where'd that go? QKC. QKC USD. Got a big volume bar. Yeah, I can't, not much to say about that one. I don't like that it's been so weak. I mean, it could just be testing the selling climax, but I can't say much about that one. ZIL. I just saw that. Hold on one second, guys. Yes. No, we're live. My wife forgot we were live, I guess. This is ZIL. I got this one. And that's just a trading range we'd had marked. You got big volume coming up here for, I think, a sign of strength. And then volume still a little high here, but I would think probably, and that's a weaker one because it should be out of this trading range already. But I would think it'll try to, I wouldn't be scared of that one here or a little bit lower. Would hate to see this level give up on a short-term basis. Really would hate to see probably 0.016 given up, but I wouldn't be scared of being long that.
Johnny M. Cool says, still think EOS will pull back a little bit. Happen to have some fiat ready to buy. Johnny M. Cool, at some point, I'm going to tell you, you have to buy something else. You have to show me an order book if you're buying something else besides EOS. Now, EOS, fundamentally has big news coming. I think it could be a big winner. You know a lot about it. You're getting a lot of staking rewards. But at some point, I'm going to make you buy a little bit of something just to protect yourself. You need a little bit of portfolio diversification. I'm going to make you hold a little BTC, make you get a node, and then you can buy all the EOS your heart desires.
I got a node in my pants. EOS, I mean, as we said earlier, I think that one resolves higher. Just the right time to buy it. I'd rather had a Bitcoin sell-off and get that a little cheaper, but whether we get that or not, I don't know. That is not much else going on. Bitcoin setting.
Come on down a little bit.
So again, all I can say, Bitcoin's, I still think it's sideways to lower, but it could surprise us. And, do the D wave up here, which would take it higher, but I'm still not leaning that way at the moment. So that's all I got.
James Livingston says, Todd Father was talking XLM, said it looked good, but to wait to buy after BTC sell. Does that mean alts enter a bull market? I don't think it means that the alt season is here. I think what he was referring to is, like we were saying, a lot of these large cap alts have actually been moving down to like almost a 1.5 or to a 2x factor of Bitcoin. Meaning, if Bitcoin has a 5% dip, then Lumens probably would have somewhere between a 7.5% to a 10% dip. So that's why he was saying after that dip occurs, we thought Bitcoin was going to bottom, start leading to the upside. So that would be a good opportunity to buy some Lumens, as it should probably outpace Bitcoin to the upside at least a couple days after the dip.
Yeah, I think this 9-cent low is good. You've had big volume come in here on the way up. You can see that low volume cents. So you might have just missed XLM here, but yeah, I think that one's still headed higher. And if we get a spring down below these levels, down to like 11 cents on a Bitcoin sell-off, I would buy XLM or add to your position.
Boom. I think that's about all I got. I'm tired. I think the game's already going too. I got to make some live sports bets. That's what I got to do. You went to the craps table last night. I got to make some sports bets.
I got my ass beat.
If you want to make money, now I don't know if sports gambling is legal in your country. If you bet on the NBA before the game starts, I think that is a mistake. The best way to bet the NBA is the live betting. We all know NBA is very streaky. A team could be down 20, then come all the way back. In the live betting, you know, they take that into effect a little bit, but I just made a bunch of money. During the middle of the game, the Warriors were down by like 15, and Vegas gave them 11 points. So obviously I took that. They ended up even winning that game, but Golden State is not losing by 11 in the playoffs. So, I mean, that's just easy money, free money, and I think live betting NBA is where it's at.
You've got a gambling problem.
Hey, it's not gambling when you're always right.
So we're gonna start a Discord on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make another channel and say sports betting, high risk with sports betting, may cause emotional distress.
And on your Twitter, you can say you're a genius.
Right. So stupid. Anybody who calls themselves the greatest or a genius or whatever, or if they say I'm not a scam, they probably are. That's my tidbit of life lesson for y'all out there. That's about all we got.
That's all I got.
If you have more questions that we didn't get to, or if you're not catching us live, throw them in the Discord. Tag me and Todd in the proper member chat. Keep an eye on the top 4 channels. We're going to have updating the charts, updating some fundamentals. Palm Beach pick. I think there was a Palm Trader pick that came out today. So I know some of you may not do stocks, but a lot of you do. So I do have information on a new stock pick, and we'll kind of go from there. We'll keep following along with some of these altcoins, find some good entries. And if you have any staking or masternode or mining questions, I do all of them. Ask. I think the passive income in crypto is a great opportunity. We've been taking advantage of it now for 2 years of the bear market, and that's why the bear market really didn't phase us, because each and every day we were making more and more coins. So I think you should look into some masternodes, staking, or mining if you have the time or the knowledge. Cool. Shout out to Trent Richards. He's in here. I know it's late for you, probably like 2 a.m. Hit me up and let me know what's going on. I know that man's got more nodes than God running, so I know he's got the same mindset waiting for the bull market. He's got a super node? Oh, he's got more than a super node. He's got I don't even know what he's got. He's got the cucumber and the Pagis of nodes.
That's funny.
All right, guys, that's all we got. That is all we got. We will see you on Discord here a little bit later. I'm going to get home, say hi to the girlfriend so she doesn't dump me, and turn the NBA game on. Who knows? Maybe in Discord I'll throw a live NBA bet out there if you guys want to get on Bovada. They do accept Bitcoin. So there you go. You take some of your trading profits, put it on Bovada, and then double that up with Giannis Antetokounmpo getting a triple-double tonight. Peace out. Any last words, Todd? What you got?
Haters gonna hate.
Haters gonna hate. Because they ain't with us and they're against us.
Right.
Peace.
Peace out.
Well, hey, stay positive, pal. Most people, when they lose, they whine and quit. But you got to be there for the turns. Everybody's got good luck, everybody's got bad luck. Don't run when you lose.
Play hard, play clean. Be careful out there.
We'll see you all again. Sleep tight.